Okay, so this one is on proper deadlifting technique. So the first thing that you'll notice when I do the deadlift is I'm wearing socks that come up to my knees. The main reason for that is when you do a proper deadlift, the bar should pretty much graze your shins. So after a while, you'll end up figuring out that you kind of get almost like a scrape, a rug burn type of a feeling on your shin sometimes. Also, because you're holding it so close, you will tend to knock into it. You'll see some people that wear almost like a soccer shin guard when they do deadlift. That's more than okay if it really starts to bother you that you're hitting your legs with the bar. The other suggestion, which you need to wear flat shoes. I wear Converse, Chucks are fine, CrossFit shoes are great, barefoot is fine too, some people do that. Same thing with squats, actually, that you want your foot to be flat on the ground. Typical runner shoes have anywhere between a 0 drop, which is a flat shoe, all the way up to 10, 12 millimeter drop on them, which gives you quite a bit of cushion on your heel, and you don't want that because that's going to naturally push the toes forward. So you need to be completely flat-footed for both of these movements. So the first thing you're going to want to do, you probably want to write this down, like I said, you have some sort of a long sock. As the weight gets heavier, you may want to use something like Versa grips that will actually give you some relief on your forearms and allow you to lift a little bit heavier. Because what ends up happening is you take the strain off of the grip so that this thing, the Versa grip becomes your hook instead. If you choose not to, you're going to want to use an over-under grip. That's going to be one hand is this way, and then your other hand is holding the bar like this. That's going to give you, again, more strength and more stability in the lift. So after you get into position, your feet need to be about shoulder width apart. A little bit more is fine. We'll do conventional deadlift first. You're going to get down there. You're going to hear me pull the slack out of the bar, which is going to hear this clink, which is just a slight lift. I'm not lifting any weight off the floor yet. But most Olympic bars have what they call slack in them. So you're going to want to lift that slack before you pull. The other thing you want to do is you're going to want to consciously tuck your armpits, which is your arm is down. You're going to tuck the armpit underneath before you lift. That's engaging your lats, which again is also going to be using your back muscles. Just like with the squat, you're going to hold your breath for the lift. You want to make sure that you are lifting consciously with your glutes and your hamstrings and a bit of your lower back. Your back should be completely flat. It should not be rounded at all. If you are incorrectly deadlifting, you can very easily injure your back. So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your form is good and that you're lifting properly before you start to get to where you're lifting very heavy. Again, I'm more than willing to form check any video if you want my help. So the first one I'm going to show you is conventional deadlift. Feet about parallel. I'm going to do an over-under grip. Back is flat and straight. The fastest way you'll know that is where your shins are. You don't want your shins over the bar. You want your shins to be perpendicular to the bar. So move up close enough to where when you're ready to start, your shins can become parallel. Grip the bar on the outsides of your legs. Like I said, I'm going to hide my armpits. Hear the slack pull out of the bar. I'm going to do the same breathing technique that I did with the squat. When you get ready to lift, you want to make sure that, like I said, your shins are perpendicular to the bar. Slightly roll back on your heels if you need to. That's going to naturally make that bar come up without having to put a ton of effort. You never want to be lifting the bar like this. You want it to be an entire fluid motion. And then when you get it all the way up, it's going to be here. When you get ready to let it go back down, allow gravity to pull the weight back down. You just control it. Don't slowly set the weight down because you're using a lot more energy than you need to. That's why you can hear it kind of ping hit off the floor, because I'm just allowing the bar to take me back down. And then again, grip, up, allow it to come back down. So now I'm going to show you Sumo, which is a little different. This one's better probably for people who have a bit of a back issue. It's also because of the type of a movement, you actually can lift heavier in the Sumo. You can benefit from both. This one's going to get more in the inner thigh and your back of your legs, whereas conventional is going to be a lot of hamstring and glute. So Sumo, you're going to set up standing like a sumo wrestler like this. You're going to want to be fairly wide because when you come down, you do not want your knees to come out over your feet. So you get as wide as you can, same thing, feet touching the bar or very close to it. Same, going to do the over-under grip, but this time it's going to be on the insides of the legs. And then it's that same motion. You're going to tuck your armpits, you're going to remove the slack, and then you're going to lift. This is going to be a much shorter motion. So again, you're also going to be able to lift heavier, plus you're engaging different parts of the leg. So I'll show you guys how to do this one. As you can see, my torso also stays a lot more upright, which is why it's going to be better for somebody with back issues, where conventional is here. Sumo is more of a almost up and down type of a motion. That's another one. I suggest that you try heavy. You'll be able to move up fairly quickly in it at the beginning because you don't realize those muscles are huge and they need heavy weight in order to really change. So if there's any questions you have on either one of these videos, please comment on the group because I know I'm probably missing things. I appreciate you guys watching this.